everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound. Today we've got the sound system demo on the 2024 Toyota Crown and its 11-speaker JBL sound system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, and speaker locations. We're going to test out the 5.1 surround capabilities, and then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on this system, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. I recorded a members-only sound test last night where we listened to member-requested, real copyrighted tracks. So if you want to find that, look below. And before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. New for 2023 model year, but finally getting into it here, the Toyota Crown. Got it pulled in a little bit here so we're out of the sunlight, easier to see the infotainment system. But this is a limited trim, so smack dab in the middle, still getting the 2.5 liter slower powertrain, but more efficient. But we're getting that JBL sound system as optional. I will point out when we go to do our on-road testing, even though this limited trim is quite quiet, the Platinum model would be even quieter, so it's possible the sound system would be just that much better. But either way, if you want to see more on the Crown, check the link below. We've got our full review, fuel economy test, and a little bit more coverage. We've got that members-only sound test, so you can find that all linked below. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with sound settings set to their factory default, so let's take a look at those now. Big 12.3-inch infotainment screen here from Toyota, very standard to what you're getting in pretty much every new Toyota product. We're in the media screen now, but we're going to go down here to settings and then down to sound and media. The first thing you see is this auto sound levelizer. Now, typically with these sort of elements of sound systems that change and lift up the music as you get going faster, I try to test with those off because I want to get the true fidelity of the tracks. I want to hear true to recording music. However, I did notice that while evaluating the system last night in the members only test, it does sound quite a bit better with auto sound levelizer on when we're at highway speeds. So we'll play with it a little bit through the test. You're not going to notice any difference with it turning on and off here because we're static. But below that, you've got sound tuning, and we have treble, mid-range, and bass adjustments. So let's go through those. Decent amount of adjustability there, but I would prefer if these sliders were larger and easier to adjust. When you're driving down the road and you're trying to make those adjustments, you have to be very careful with how you press. And then you've got the adjustment for front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance. You can move sound around the cabin with that. And that's all you've got for audio adjustments. For audio controls here in the Crown, you've got a volume knob right in the center of the infotainment stack here. No clicks, but easy to get to for the driver and passenger. You also have a volume rocker on the left side of the wheel with not the ability to click and mute. That's a bit disappointing. I like when you can click and mute. For track selection, no physical controls up here. You gotta be on the proper screen, which is a little frustrating if, say, for example, you've got the radio going, but then you've got your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto up here to do navigation, and then you want to change your radio station, go back to a different favorite or something without using this back and forth here. You gotta click once, twice, and then back to the media, make your adjustment, and then go back to CarPlay. But you do have that physical track adjustment down here, at least to get from track to track or station to station. For audio inputs in the Crown, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio. Let's confirm that we have support for HD radio. Yep, HD radio support coming in there. Your Sirius XM looking like that. You've got a USB-A port in there. You've got support for wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And you've got Amazon Music and Apple Music built in. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no USB-C port, which I'm okay with. But, you know, newer devices. Oh, no. Well, there's USB-C for power right there, but it's not for data. So if you want to do data, you're USB-A. No 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, and no streaming service like Spotify or Pandora. You're just limited to those two that are included. Speaker locations. As I said, this is an 11-speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got a door woofer there, 1, and mid-ranger up there, 2, tweeter 3, 4, 5, 6 on the other side. Coming into the back, You've got woofer 7, if I remember correctly, this is a tweeter 8. Actually, this might be a mid-ranger. So 7, 8, 9, 10, and then a subwoofer right in the middle of the deck lid back there, making 11. Before we get out on the road, let's test out the 5.1 surround sound capabilities of the system using the immersiveaudioalbum.com surround demo track. I'm not expecting proper 5.1 support, but let's see what happens.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration Test. Left. Center. Right. Left surround.
Yeah, there we go.
Right surround.
Ah, and the LFE channel is gone.
The Immersive Audio Album Channel Configuration
So
Test
not only is it
complete.
only stereo, but it doesn't seem to be adapting that LFE channel properly. So if you are playing 5.1 music, it's not going to downmix it properly. Okay, with that, let's get on the road. system is yet a smart reminder about how important it is to test with multiple types of music, because the first few songs here driving in this section of the test, I was like, okay, yeah, it's doing pretty well. But it really started to fall apart listening to this track, and I hope you can hear just how way too bright this system is, way too much treble and too much mid-range as well. And I've been able to slightly improve the system by dropping those down. Tested that a lot in our members only sound testing, but going back to the food analogy that I love to use with these systems, yes, the garnishes and the flourishes are fun, the highs and the lows, but you gotta have the solid meat and potatoes, the middle, the core aspects of the music, the mid-ranges where all of your instrumentation lives. You have to have that done right first, and then you can get into the fancy stuff. So let's listen real quick if I drop down some of the mid and treble. It's a little better, but we're still not doing a great job at parsing the instruments in the mid-ranges. For this next track though, we'll turn the bass all the way up and see what we get out of that subwoofer back there. Okay, so I'm hearing something not good out of the front right. I don't know if we have a speaker going out or just something loose, but I did notice that earlier this week as well. Other than that, it's fairly strong. Getting a lot of mirror shakeage. Not feeling it too much in my seat, but it's a full sound. There, I just went back to the flat EQ settings and it really gets crispy. Up my thoughts here on the JBL system in the Toyota Crown. This represents one of the difficulties with Toyota coming out, or really any brand coming out with something that's near the top end of their segment, if you will, because at the end of the day, Toyota's not a luxury brand. They have Lexus for that. But this car, the Crown, has a lot of Lexus-like qualities. It's very refined, very well built, a lot of features, but you're not getting Lexus or luxury levels of sound system, and it's a little disappointing and also a little bit of a dissonance between the rest of the vehicle. This system has potential, but it's not tuned very well, and I don't know if they're focusing on more kind of radio and audiobook and podcast kind of performance, but you get a lot of front end, a lot of high end, and just not enough of that mid-range satisfaction to carry into what was really satisfying for listening to all of your favorite music. So this is getting a B. It's better than your average system, but when you're starting to look at a nice refined vehicle like this, most people are going to be wanting more. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Toyota Crown, check the link below. I do quite like a lot about this car. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on.